The Ice Beer Project looks at Labatt Ice, introduced in 1993, North America's first ice brewed beer, and then it was quickly followed up by Ice House. 5.6% alcohol. I was sitting outside doing the review, and then the air conditioner unit was running, and I was watching the playback, and I was like, I can't stand listening to that. Probably most people probably wouldn't care, but to me, I was like, who wants to hear that? So even though I already poured the beer, I said, let me just reshoot it. I mean, I had a thick white head, medium to thick white head, and you're going to get your clear straw golden appearance. I mean, most ice beers look pretty much the same. Now, but they don't all taste the same, okay? That would be an interesting taste challenge. All the different ice beers, see if you could tell them apart. I doubt you could. But you'd probably notice that they taste different. You just probably wouldn't be able to identify which was which. But seems to me, now Rate Beer and Beer Advocates say it's terrible, right? So we know that already. But seems to me that Labatt Ice, which is recommended to be drunk extremely cold, and I had it in the freezer for a good while before I popped this 24-ounce can open, seems to me that it's like a little bit better quality than your average ice beers, which I tend to like anyway, but this one seems like it's a little bit of a step up, even though the can I think was like 99 cents or $1.19 at that liquor store on State Highway 2 heading west out of Sandusky. It was in the city limits in Sandusky, Ohio, but you know, heading out of the town. Be easy to find if you were looking for it. They have an array of tall can ice beers and malt liquors and whatever. Plus a lot of like really high quality gourmet or craft beers. But this almost seems like it's a gourmet ice beer, and it has like a sweeter, richer flavor, aroma. It has that Labatt characteristic yeastiness in the aroma and in the flavor. When I first started drinking Labatt, and Labatt Blue is the only one sold in Louisiana, by the way. It's not even that common down here. You have to kind of look for it. But I didn't like Labatt Blue at first because it had that strange yeastiness, and then I kind of like got used to it, and now I can really appreciate it. There's some background graininess, which is your barley malt and probably your corn. There's a little hop bitterness that's a little bit. There's a hop bitterness that's a little bit more noticeable than what you get in your typical ice beer, I find. It's been over 3 years since I had this, and I bought it up north somewhere on a road trip about 3 years ago. I don't know, but I don't think that Labatt Ice is sold in Canada itself. I did get into a friendly argument with a viewer of mine, and I can't remember who, because people use all these different strange internet nicknames, and then they'll use a different one on Facebook, and then I get so confused. The ones that use their regular name, I can remember them a lot better. But anyway, he was saying, no, Labatt USA is owned by North American Breweries of Rochester, New York, the Genesee people, the Dundee people, Pyramid Brewing people. I said, from what I could find from Anheuser-Busch InBev, is that they own Labatt. They bought Labatt Brewing Company in Canada, but that NAB has a license agreement. In other words, they control the rights to produce and sell and market Labatt, the Labatt line in the United States. I'm sticking with my idea that I think it's just they own the rights to the line, whereas Anheuser-Busch InBev actually owns the line in America. But well, anyway, it's not owned by the Labatt people that started it. I can tell you that. The mouthfeel is medium. It's not like totally watery, and the finish is pretty crisp and very refreshing and super drinkable. I tell you what, there's really a noticeable graininess that I will pick up in certain craft beers, and I'm trying to go through my mind and think of which of the craft beer companies that has this same type aspect going on in it. It's almost like it's I want to say is it North Coast Brewing that has that? I don't know. It's hard to pin down, but I notice it. It's like it's in it's in my memory bank. Anyway, if you want to try an ice beer that seems to be a step above what you would typically get, and I think what you typically get is pretty good, I would check out Labatt Ice. Labatt Max Ice. Maximum ice beer. 7.1% alcohol. Also brewed with no preservatives in Rochester, New York. This might be sold in Canada. I bought this somewhere up north on a road trip. I can't remember. I think, did I buy this in the Bronx? Like when I was, I did like a major, I did a mega transect of the Bronx. Meaning I walked from about the middle of the Bronx on East Tremont at Boston Road. What do you call that area? I can't remember. There's a name for it. I was going to say Little Woods, but it's not that. It's a Little Farms. And I just walked west. Just started walking on Tremont all the way across. And then I got to Broadway, and I was walking north and south on that. So I just was stopping at all the beer stores. And I did do some South Spurs off of Tremont. And I think this was at a gas station close to the interstate. I think it's 87 that runs down. But anyway, that was 3 years ago. Yeah, check it out if you get a chance. That's a fascinating thing to do in New York City, is make a maybe not a mega transect. I guess I would be walking across the whole state, but a transect. I did that in Queens, walking up from Sutphin Boulevard, Rockaway Boulevard, and then up through Jamaica, and then on Main Street, all the way from the bottom to Chinatown, and then across to the Met Stadium, and I was buying tons of beer, you know. It was a challenge to bring it all back. Anyway, but it was really fun, you know. So it was really fun. So anyway, and I did that in Detroit in July. That was fascinating. So, but I didn't do a transect. I just did kind of like a downtown walkabout. I wasn't walking across Detroit. Okay, I'm not crazy, but I walked in the downtown area. That was fine. So thank you for watching this video production. Check it out.